the finish. So here we start at the beginning. People come from all over the world to do this. We're very fortunate. British Columbia, Washington State, Idaho, Arizona, I've seen Kentucky, there's Saskatchewan. It's a good trip. When you first show up, you've got to watch a video, 20 minutes. Even if you've been here before, you still do. If you might notice, everybody gets lined up for the weigh-in. You're only allowed to have 60 pounds of gear in each boat. And if you're in a hurry, best line up early. So the video's in this building. It's about 20 minutes long. It starts twice a day. We're going to the 9 o'clock one. There's one in the afternoon at 1, I believe. And that's where the actual walking starts. So this is kind of the idea. Your first day is the worst day. You're portaging the most. We're doing about, I think it's 1.8 kilometers. This is 1.8K. 2, yeah. So this is the worst part of the whole endeavor, is the first day. As you're gaining all the altitude you'll be losing later. So as you can see down the trail, it's a bit of a grunt. Depends how you feel. Cool. Sure.
Indian Point?
Yeah. So here we are at the put-in at Kibbe Lake, and the weather is certainly cooperating with us. And my daughter's going to take some beautiful pictures. Say hi to Dad.
Hey, Papa.
So this is something I'd love to take you on, Dad. The gorgeous calm day in Kibbe Lake. You can just see the canoes on the other side where we pull out. So this is the end of Kibbe Lake, which is a gorgeous, but gives you an idea of just how busy it is on your first day. None of these people are in our party. And we chased off another, I don't know, 8 people. But where else do you get a view like that? My ears are ringing. It's so quiet here. Beautiful. I'll pull them all out. I'll keep the bundle all together with the rod tips. Indian Point. Put in. Beautiful. Here we are on Indian Point. This is the second
Hello.
lake of the loop. There's Elise.
Only one that's enough.
Hi. All. Keep shaking. And we're going to troll a leech on this one. And we got to end up over there by the mountains. And see that peak up there, guys, on our left? We want to be at the foot of that tonight. That's Wolverine Mountain. An idea what's the lake's like, Dad?
Better balance this time.
Way better for me too. You can hear the parks guy, but getting down to the foot of Indian Point.
Want it to be a total swallow?
Just heard a loon.
Get totally light food, but
I'm trying to catch
we do have a dessert.
Here we are at the end of Indian Point, site number 8. And as you can see, gorgeous. There's a cabin here. Let's go take a look. So there are some emergency cabins scattered throughout. You're only supposed to use them in emergency. And we went around here once with my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, and they're supposed to be shared. And, well, we won't mention any specific nationalities, but they didn't want to share. It was not very good.
American?
German.
German?
But there's the cabin. A little bit of wood there. You'll notice they put the sharing notice in 2 languages.
Yeah, English and German.
Got a wood stove. Don't know if this is adapting to the dark or not. But a wood stove,
Nice.
aluminum foil.
Sleeping.
Yep.
Although I don't think that would support a person.
Yeah. It's not for a person. It's for shelves, I think. But the person could bunk. They put the aluminum foil on the roof.
Keep it kind of insulated.
Still have a sticker on the window. Triton window sticker.
Nice.
What a view.
Not stop here too long because we're going to get out just around the corner.
And the hordes are coming.
I don't know.
Is there a leaker room? Or should I just go find a bush? Is this wood pile here?
No, it's just a spruce tree that fell over.
We'll get wood on the next lake. Oh, this is Indian Point, and just around the corner is where we started.
A lot of these sites are pretty small. It looks like there's only 2 tent sites here.
Yeah. That is nice.
Here we come into the Isaac Portage. It's
My feet.
the end of Indian Point Lake, and we actually camped here one horrible night on our first trip here with the kids when they were 5 and 8, and we camped right there. But it was quite a horrible night.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Looks like that's not been broken.
Yeah, it kind of fell apart.
I'm gonna push off you guys and start turning it.
Wash your leg.
And we take out here.
Yeah, that's done been
Mm-hmm. They said they were going to rebuild all of this in October, so we'll see.
Yeah, I remember this miserable time. Please get out. Okay, pull up.
Deep, dude.
My pants are rolled up.
So my son's discovered a fart machine,
What? Oh, yeah, it
but
works.
here we are at the end of the start of Isaac Lake. And right around that corner is where we want to camp for the night, at the foot of Wolverine Mountain. It is 4:30. It's a bit of a grunt to get there, but this was disgusting. Just to give you an idea, apparently they're redoing everything in October. Oh, Philip's wet. Nothing like getting wet before bed. Take a picture of Philip soaked, Peanut. So, I've never seen this bad, but we've got some sort of a weird walkway that is barely traversable. And here, well, my wife said it smelled like cow patties. Maybe that's true, maybe it isn't, but it is. Apparently a beaver dam dammed up the trail, so now there's a creek running down the trail. So, this is what you are. That being said, this is the end of the portaging for day one, or however many days you want, but this is 3 portages. But what do you think of the view? There's a campsite here, but we've always thought it a bit buggy. I don't know if it'll be buggy tonight.
Yes.
It's buggy.
So, Dad, logs underwater. They're pretty slippery.
You found one, did you?
Yeah. There's like 3 right there.
This is when you paddle out of Indian Point. Sorry, when you paddle out of Isaac off the launch. Do a draw, Philip, if you could. Good weather's chasing us. And we're still making progress towards a campsite. We're hoping to be there soon. It's been a big day. But God, they look like they know what they're doing. And that's where we started. So we've been paddling for about 15 minutes. Good thing I got that on video.
I'm just proud that the winds were here. I'm still impressed that you could fart like that, Dad. the young stuff.
This one right here. This one right here.
Cool.
The other one's behind you. There he is.
Why do you not love me? I'm just trying to get back to it.
This is the Wolverine shelter. You'll notice Philip's got a fresh Band-Aid. As he found out sharp axes are fun. This is where we've cooked for the day. Fairly quiet here. We're here on Sunday night. And there's one other party here. They're over there in the trees. But it's got a bit of a nice view here. Come and take a look at the view now. Wow. Just wow. So, for reference, that's boats over there at the ranger's cabin. We made it here in one day. It's a bit of a grunt, especially with less experienced paddlers, I guess you'd call them. But we've got our tent set up. We've got food in our belly. And this is the shelter they built here.
You want to go chill with Mom down there? I'll raise some children for a bit.
here we are,
Oh, it's
about
so
halfway
fast.
down Isaac, and my kids have been puddling the whole time, until now. All of a sudden, they're not interested in puddling. I have no idea why, but this leech probably has something to do with it. Look at it hiding in the shade.
You're fishing for that thing. Maybe we can run one under there. That's a fisheries.
It is.
I wonder what it'd see if we lifted the log up. Well, I've been paddling mainly on this side, so I think it might be cool. Just switch some stuff.
You think what, Peanut?
I've always been puddling on this side, or further out.
Ultralight. Can you do a draw? No, just a little one. Yeah, that's a no-no. Here we are at the mouth of the creek. This is Wendell Creek. I plan on doing a little bit of fishing here. We'll see. My wife's paddling with my daughter upstream.
I don't think there are any.
Here we are at Site 21A. It's not perfect, but there's definitely worse views out there. Kids are listening to an audiobook. Mom and Dad are going to have a coffee. Chase away a headache. We're trying to figure out if it's because of too much light, too much sunshine, or not enough coffee. We'll figure it out. Smile and wave. Hello. Reel it in. As soon as you see it get to the end, reel it or pull it back in. I wouldn't even. Ooh, there you go. Did you get one?
Nope. Got a bite though.
Okay. I usually hook my finger under it. That way you can just feel it. That's plenty deep, yeah. Try for a neurotic retrieve a bit faster.
I'm doing.
Good stuff. And this is where the wood lots are. That's where you go check for some wood. The previous people went and looked at it and they walked away with no wood, so odds are it's a bit bleak. We'll see when we get to it. Are you having fun yet?
Yeah, it's fun. They're not taking big bites, just little nibbles.
Yep, they're little fish.
Oh, the one I got earlier took a big bite.
By now you've had 3 or 4 good bites and they're wise to your ways. Usually you feel them take on your way out, not on your way in. So what you try to do is keep the line tight all the way out. Because as soon as you put tension on the line, it'll make the fly sink, and that's not what they're looking for here. So it's a bit of a, you want to keep kind of a slight tight bend to the loop all the way through. But when you've got suicide fish, sometimes you just reel it in and away you go. But I'd speed up my retrieve a bit. Here they're not looking for a match, they're looking for something that looks like food. They're wild trout, so they're fairly fish aggressive. Just after campsite 24, I think we're at. in Isaac with a huge waterfall and a avalanche chute that goes straight down to the lake. Imagine the power to get over that little bump and still destroy all those trees. Here we are at Site 24. Like thunderstorms coming down the lake, but we thought we'd take a peek at 24. I've never camped here. I honestly think I've never stopped here before.
Pads, nicely in the trees.
Yeah, raised.
Nice. This is a good place to be in the rain. It's even a teeny tiny bit of wood. But an outhouse for Mum. Oh. What do you think of the wood, guys? Should we throw it in the boat?
No. Not that big of a deal. If it rains, I'm just gonna go into a tent or a shelter.
Hole up and read a book?
Hold up and listen to a book.
The end of Isaac Lake. A quick shelter over there, you can just see through the trees. We've got that chasing us, so trying to get the tent up. Some breakfast started, or dinner started before the rain. Elise has been digging in strong. And the much vaunted chute at the end of Isaac Lake. This year it's pretty much blown out, but you still see TV's in short supply, so people like watching. Nice. Nice. No, he's got it. Oh, no, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
There we go.
It doesn't help if you call some short. Well, maybe it's more confusing.
Fun?
It's not the time to negotiate with your father.
I did it with Phil. So at the end of Isaac, third day in the lake. Never guessed that a thunderstorm chased us here and there were 2-foot waves when we came ashore. There were. Now we get to chill and relax. Clouds, it looks like there might be more thunderstorms tonight, but hard to believe that you can just see that point far in the distance. That's where the foot of that, we paddled from it today. Tomorrow we run the river, played in it already. Got to play with Philip and play with Nicole. They both liked it. Elise, veteran of one too many broken bones, has decided, I'm not having anything to do with that, guys. But it is what it is. Good night.
Scared of mine?
So, this is the Portage Trail as you come down the Isaac Falls, or the end of Isaac Lake, empties into McCleary Lake. Gives you an idea of just the relative steepness. And we're going to go take a look at the waterfall, which is kind of cool. Certainly tell it's a rainforest. Reminds me of the coast. Here we are about 1,000 kilometers inland. And that's why you don't want to miss the takeout. Here we are at the mouth of the Caribou River where it flows into Lanese. As you can tell, well, it is very impressive. Scenery's beautiful. I liken this to driving on Icefields Parkway. So out here there's nobody and you're just paddling. With some trepidation, you say goodbye. You work your way slowly back to civilization. To the work that's never quite done.
It's nice the sun went behind the clouds.
Well, the wind's come up. There's some white caps. We're gonna hopefully be okay once we get around the corner.
Oh, it's a lot better here already.
It is.
Got close to the trees. Well, it might stay overnight.
Okay, bud, I'm watching. This is the end of Lanese.
It's very group of 7-X.
I always feel sad here. Say goodbye to the mountains as we slowly approach the rounder hills of the Caribou Plateau. Two more days of warmer water, better fishing hopefully, and then we're done. So unfortunately what often happens is you'll get to a campsite, for example 37 here, and you find it's full. So when it's full, you got to move on to the next site. In this case, the next site's 5 kilometers away. That way, supposedly downstream, but not much of a current, I'm afraid. But we'll dig in, we'll get her done. I think we are. Much like you, I'm a little bit leaving the mountains.
Half the portage distance.
Yeah.
That's building into quite the thunderstorm over Lanese.
Cute.
You're also ambitious. And there's site 38. This is a view from 38, I think 37 or 39A, I'm sorry. 37A has a much nicer view. Do you agree, dear?
It's different.
And there's the river where we're going. You can see the canoes in front of us. Here's the takeout for Babcock. And you can see it's fairly well signed on all sides of the river. Below here is Caribou Falls, so unless you're trying to get into Una and or hiking the trail, this is where you want out. In the past, you used to line your boat up that creek, but far too many people here now, so we don't do that anymore. Now we just get out there. There's a warden cabin there as well and a radio for emergencies, but we're going to go downstream 400 meters to Una. Here we are at the point of no return. You'll see it signed on both sides of the river, and it says you don't want to go any farther because there's a waterfall. And it's a big waterfall. But it's pretty hard to miss the signs. And we're going to paddle in where those people are coming out, which is the Una Lake. And that's where the trail to the Caribou River starts. People are just coming out. They've already done the hike this morning, I'm sure. Again, lots of time. You could swim across the river here. A little bit of current, but hardly any. Here's where you start the trail to Caribou Falls. We're on Una Lake.
They're all red.
We'll hike into the Caribou Falls, and they say not to do this hike if it's windy. That's because of, look at all the dead and dying pine. They did knock down a lot of the ones near the trail, but can you tell it's blueberry season? Hard to actually get any sort of speed up. They do look yummy.
Yes, I see.
Here we approach the falls. Not much warning if you're on the river. Don't know if there's another set of signs or not, but you can certainly start to see the cataract. Here's the upper viewpoint. Here we are walking down beside the falls. A little microclimate of rainforest again. big portage is Babcock Creek. Warden's cabin's behind us.
I know, I just didn't want to be rude.
If someone hasn't knocked me over building.
I've been in the bush a lot of my life, but I don't think I've seen that before. That looks artificial. This is Babcock Lake. You got two more portages. They're pretty flat till we get into Spectacle Lakes, and then once we're in Spectacle, no more portages. And you can see we're leaving the mountains behind. We got the boats all loaded up. And Babcock, there is a campsite, so avail yourself of the facilities if you can. Just lucked out with a glorious high. 24 degrees Celsius, not a cloud in the sky, barely a ripple on the water. The neatest thing about the end of Babcock Lake is the portage is so short you can see the other lake through the trees. About 400 meters. You go just up and over that little bitty rise. And there's people coming down the trail. So, there's portage trails, as you've seen, and then there's portage trails. This one, yes, you could drive my wife's CRV on it quite fine.
If it was wider.
Definitely. As you can tell, he's in his bare feet. So, fairly nice.
Yeah. I'm believing that.
Oh, would you mind recording Mom and I unloading the canoe?
Love to. Means I don't have to. If Elise will move,
Got a bit of a system.
that'd be sweet. Thanks. Wood. Dry wood. More dry wood. There you go. Video then. Never mind. It's rotten on the inside.
Yeah, okay.
Coolest thing since sliced bread.
It's only got so much ability, right? Okay. Ooh. Here's the put in on Skoy Lake. Skoy Lake's like 400 meters. very moosey and dragonfly-y. Very pretty. Here we are on the last portage. We're on Skoy Lake. It's the smallest of all the lakes. There's a nice little threading through some grasslands over there, which is prime moosey habitat. You can see up there at the orange marker for the exit. Literally it's 300 meters for a portage. And if we'd been here a little earlier in the day, this is usually full of a couple of feeding moose. Right now it's a bit warm, so they're hiding in the bush. There you go, Philip. You want to record the loading?
Just a sec.
The nicest thing about this portage is you can see the lake on the other side.
Did you guys see the water hemlock?
Nope.
Mom pointed it out to me. Apparently like a leaf or two of it can kill you. So here's the loading process into water.
More in the middle this time.
It's weird.
Don't move it.
Well, I don't know how to make this thing work.
Point it like
Don't
that.
jerk off of it, and if you just hold it steady, it'll stay steady. If you
It's
start
too
playing
high.
with it, it gets confused.
Too high up. It doesn't see anything other than your heads.
You pull the trigger down.
Oh.
Pull that down, and that brings it down. Push it up, and it puts it up. But this time, for the next boat, try not to do this. I know, Bowron. This is the put in on Spectacle Lakes. And that is Devil's Club Mountain in the distance, that neat little peaky looking thing. So we're going to try to get to 48 or 49. This is 44. It's 6 campsites. It's quite nice. And as before, we can see Skoy Lake in the background. It's a pretty short portage. I'm going to hug the left here. Yeah, you paddle away. Paddle on the right, please. It is. Yeah, paddle on the right side now a bit. Left. Now the left. Okay. Yeah, you're going to hit the boat in front of you. You're you're going to hit the boat in front of you. That's why I said paddle on the left. It is. In the back of your brain, you remember more people come every year by moose than grizzlies. Ready to go for the day. Site 52. These were actually closed because people don't listen to the warnings about food disposal. There's a whole bunch of pistachio pits around the fire. So I'm going to guess that that's why a bear was interested. But we're going to head out and we're going to go around the other side of the island. This is the main thoroughfare. I've seen about probably 20 boats go by this morning.
A mosquito bite, but the top's missing. And it's green.
You must like what you taste like. Ferrying a boat in.
Philip, we have something for you.
What's that?
Nice. You can see a bit of a current. Might do a draw, bud. Up. Yeah. Bit of a draw, Philip. Yeah. Wait till I put the camera away. Wait till I put the camera away. What part of that was unclear?
I thought you said I'm going to. Gotta go to the bathroom. Yeah, no, I'll see.
Just wait.
Yeah. Oh, look, you can
Little beaver trail.
it's a moosey truck. I'm sure it's cleared. Cleared over the top.
How are you finding the tub for the channel, Mum? Keep paddling. Snug up against the left bank. Think he's fishing? have to grunt and fight the wind.